group that stood up, or the country that stood up, was Iran, and the Syrians understood that they had to set up a popular resistance, an Islamic resistance, and that's why they let the Iranians in. So in July 1982, a special unit of volunteers from the Iranian Revolutionary Guards arrived in the historic city of Baalbek. The Iranians commandeered the Lebanese army barracks. There's the Sheikh Abdallah barracks. With them, they brought weapons, explosives, and from the battlefields of the Iran-Iraq War, this new idea that shahada, martyrdom, could be an incredibly potent weapon in the defense of Lebanon. The cult of the suicide bomber had arrived. The Iranians helped set up one of the most feared Islamic groups anywhere in the world, Hezbollah, the Party of God.
America had sent the Marines to Lebanon as part of a multinational force.
Outside Baalbek, Hezbollah have erected a massive shrine to one of its founding fathers, Abbas Musawi, assassinated by the Israelis. It is a site of pilgrimage for all the Hezbollah faithful.
This is not a mosque. This is a shrine. The most important person here is Abbas Musawi. All the rest is a display of martyrs.
The shrine has become a museum to all of Hezbollah's martyrs. Case after case is filled with the personal effects of those killed in the war against the Israelis.
I was awakened at about 2 o'clock in the morning and told that a suicide bomber had bombed our Marine barracks and we lost 243 Marines.
At the same time, he was told another bomber had hit a French barracks, killing 58. These attacks shook the leaders of both countries.
We woke up the president. It was the low point of the Reagan presidency. For me, for the president, and all of us.
America had been humiliated 3 years before when Iran seized the US embassy in Tehran. America saw this bombing as a terrorist attack, the largest in its history, and at the hand of Iran. The vice president was dispatched to Lebanon.
We're not going to let a bunch of insidious terrorists, cowards, shape the foreign policy of the United States.
For 4 months, Washington stood firm. But faced with more threats, the US moved its forces out of Lebanon to ships in the Mediterranean.
We knew we had to take the Marines out. So we left, and I think we left with our dauber down. I had to hand it to the French. They left too.
The Lebanese resistance waged an 18-year campaign against the Israeli army, with over 30 suicide bomb attacks, in which more than 350 soldiers were killed. In the end, southern Lebanon had become Israel's Vietnam. In the year 2000, the Israelis finally withdrew. The Lebanese were left with a heroic story that is forever commemorated in the hills of southern Lebanon. As the rally broke up, I cornered the head of the Iranian Armed Forces, General Firuz Abadi. He has never spoken to Western reporters before. What is the importance of martyrdom for the Iranian Armed Forces today?
The Americans have realized up till now that they have to listen carefully. And they know that no army can stand in the way of martyrdom. So the Americans should know that if they try to interfere with Iran, they will dig their own graves.